Hello, and welcome to the Tavern Chat Podcast. I'm your host, Eric Tenkar, your bartender in the OSR, your main proprietor at the Tenkar's Tavern blog. So, we got some voicemails regarding some recent episodes. The first one we're going to go to is Joe the Lawyer, and he remarks on the Lamentations of the Flame Princess referee book that I pointed out is going to hit 5 years since Dude, James gave himself 5 years, and January will be 5 years, and I don't know where it stands right now. So let's listen to Joe.
Eric, hey, Joe the lawyer. Heard your bit about the James Raggy "Where the fuck is the book?" Rant. I've been saying that for a long goddamn time. I refuse to buy anything else from Raggy until that book comes out. And now I don't know if I will anyway, because here's the other aspect of it, man. He's coming out with a second edition of LTFP, right? Now, he's taking so fucking long with the referee's guide. Is the referee's book going to be for the second edition? Because I don't like the second edition, the way it looks. I'd rather have the first edition, the Grindhouse edition. That's what I bought. The fucking Grindhouse referee book. I don't want no fucking second edition referee book because I don't want to buy the second edition. I'll fucking demand my money back if that's what happens. I want the Grindhouse referee book. If he wants to go make a goddamn second edition, make his own referee book, and take 9 years to do that one. That's it, though. So I wonder which one we're going to get. I wonder what it's going to be. Anyway, talk to you later.
Yeah, Joe, I'll be honest with you. I'm not grabbing a lot of the recent Raggy stuff because I found it has been pretty much unplayable, unusable as a GM. It's an interesting read. If you're going to buy something just to put on your shelf and say I have a complete Lamentations collection, then I understand it. But I haven't had something that has been really usable from Lamentations in a while. And, I'm retired now. My gaming budget cannot be supplemented by overtime or night differential. So I got to keep it within an agreed range. And, Lamentations of the Flame Princess releases are, they're a luxury. And, like I said, I generally don't find them usable. It's a luxury that I can't use. So therefore, I'm not buying. I'm interested to see if the rough book comes out on time. Well, no, right? Let's, today's December 13th. So I guess February 1st, was that Groundhog's Day? Well, no. Dun, dun, dun. Our other voicemail is from Tim Shorts. Tim Shorts talks about yesterday's episode, where I sat down with Bad Mike. So let's hear it.
Hey Eric, Tim Shorts from Gothridge Manor. Great interview with Mike. I can see why a lot of people like him. Seems like a real nice guy. Great interviews, and I got to get into raid Mike's Judges Guild closet because I know he's got a lot of those. So one of these days I gotta go raid that. So again, great interview, and it was good hearing you two talk.
Yeah, Mike has a huge collection of Judges Guild stuff. There was a point where you couldn't get your Myth Horde in the mail without having Judges Guild falling out of the box, and that was, I'm sure, thanks to Mike. I don't know how deep his collection goes, but I'm sure it's pretty complete. I don't know what he has duplicates of. I really should shake Mike down for that. Maybe we can get him to sell some of the stuff. Who knows? So, last night in the weekly Tavern Chat Hangout on Discord, we got to talk about fantasy movies and other stuff, and Hawk the Slayer came up. Now, I remember Hawk the Slayer from my teenage years, and you would turn the TV set on at 1:30 in the morning, and you'd hear it's either the crossbow or the bow, that was on speed. And I was like, oh, this is so cool, man. This is awesome. And then I realized last night that I don't think I ever saw that movie except for bits and pieces. And sure enough, I did a little searching for it. And if you have Amazon, you can get it on the Amazon Video to stream. I think rental is $3. You can buy it for 10. I bought it for 10. I don't know how soon I'll watch it again, but it was entertaining. It wasn't. Don't get me wrong. I'm not going to say it was good. If you're going into this expecting Lord of the Rings quality acting and sets and special effects, you'll be sorely disappointed. If you go into it realizing that this was a campy British production from, I think, 1980 or 1981, uh, you'll enjoy it. It really. Here, it was released December 21st, 1980. So this movie is basically 38 years old. Holy shit. Now, Jack Palance pretty much steals the show, and it's not because he does some great acting. He does some great overacting. Uh, to be honest with you, I don't think there's anyone in the movie that should think that they're an excellent actor. Now, I did find some interesting things. I didn't know that Edwin Nagy, who has done work with Frog God Games, goes to a lot of the conventions. I believe he'll be at SnowCon this year. He's got like a double in this movie. The Giant looks like Edwin Nagy. It blew my fucking mind. I'm like, how did it? It can't be. He's probably had to be like, 10, 15 years old when the show was, when the movie was filmed. But yeah, it's like having your own double in it. Now, are there things that you could steal from Hawk the Slayer for writing an adventure or a campaign? Yeah. Well, one thing I noticed, and I think that they were wise to do this, is that they don't introduce the setting. They don't go overboard and explain everything and what the name of the kingdom is and what the politics are besides Hawk and his brother Jack Palance having their tiff. So they don't go into that, which is probably best because it's only an hour and a half long movie. You go into that, you get lost. You lose all that time. Another interesting thing is that the religion that is shown is obviously Christianity. They got crosses. They got what look like medieval nuns. When you see the friar, the default setting is very fantastical English setting. But that's what you need. You don't, this is a beer and popcorn movie, and I'm sure it would be very entertaining to watch over beer and popcorn, beer and chips. Dare I say? Maybe I'll have to do that. I could even get my niece could watch it. I don't think there's any real cursing in the movie. It's PG. The blood and violence is very subdued. The fight scenes are horrible. Yeah, especially the slow motion fight scenes. But again, you're not watching it for great cinematography. You're watching it because it's a fun fantasy story of a party of adventurers doing heroic deeds. And really, you think about it, what's gaming about? That's what gaming is about. That, I think, is why Hawk was always so well thought of amongst gamers. It was an adventure. They didn't go into dungeons, but it was a bunch of adventure about a bunch of heroes fighting for justice, dare I say it. But they aren't all hoity-toity good. The dwarf, who is like a cross between a dwarf and a hobbit, uh, obviously would have been the party scout or thief. The giant, who kills all right, doesn't directly kill the slaver, but sets the slaver up to be killed in a situation where he puts the slaver's huge mace, dangles it from a tree with a rope, puts the rope into the bound up slaver's mouth and tells him not to talk. So, of course, the moment when he opens his mouth, the mace comes down and off screen kills him. Why do I not think that's something one of my players would do? And they would argue that, well, I'm giving him a chance to live. Not really, but I'm giving him a chance to live. So it's not like I'm killing an unarmed person that we took captive. Therefore, it's not an evil deed. I could hear the arguments. I could see it in my head. So, in any case, Hawk the Slayer. I really, really am reluctant to call this a review. I don't think I could call this a review. But as a gamer movie, yeah, it's fun. Understand that it's camp, that it's a cheap budget movie. Understand that it sets itself up at the end for a sweet sequel that never happened. And apparently there have been attempts at sequels that have never happened. But don't worry about that. Go into it with the idea of, I'm going to have fun. I'm going to enjoy it for what it is. And it doesn't take itself more serious than most of the campaigns that I've been in. So there is that. All right, folks. Thank you for listening. I really do appreciate it. If you get a chance and you're on iTunes, you can leave us a review or a rating. I prefer the reviews. I like to get feedback. Continue what you're doing. Continue listening to the episodes as long as you're enjoying them. And I will get back with you tomorrow. God bless. Be safe. Roll your dice well. Later, folks.